let's get started. Hey, Franz, you gonna do it with me?
I'm going to do side kicks
Eventually.
right now.
I'm not doing kicks right now.
I'm
All
going
right,
to
finding a
do
space on the
kicks.
floor, hands on the top of the head, and big hip circles. Hey, Han. Oh, Fritz. Sorry, she stepped on the. There we go. So you can play anywhere, but please not right in this space, okay? So grabbing the ground slightly with the feet, big circles, bringing the hips around. Good, feet touching. Once the circles feel comfortable, start grabbing the ground very lightly with the toes. If that grab throws the circle off and destabilizes you, let it go for a second, find that round, and then gently bring the grab back on from there. Good, changing directions. Again, first couple, get comfortable with the shape. Once the shape feels good, then that very little bit of toe grab, just enough so you can feel that stabilization traveling up the lower leg and have a slight influence on the nature of your circle. Using the torso to counterbalance. Good. Shake that out for a moment as the feet go to a slightly wider stance. From here, I want to draw my umbilicus towards my spine, keep my back level as I rotate the pelvis backwards, bringing my body forwards, pelvis comes up, raising the body from there, and continue. Moving from those hips. If you're looking for more of a challenge, you can bring the hands instead of the chest. That changes the weight distribution slightly and makes it a bit more of an effort to raise the body from the hips. If you want more of a challenge still, fingers behind the ears, and again, same thing, just puts more weight higher up, so you have to do more with your middle to raise. If you fatigue and can't keep form, it's totally okay to go back a level if you need to. 2 more. Lastest one. Good, bringing those feet in a little bit. Same basic idea for this one next. Belly drawing the spine, flat back, pelvis rotates posterior, rotates back as the body arcs down. Pelvis rotates forward, which helps to uncoil the body as the elbows then drop down and back and continue. Sink, lift and back. Sinking into your legs, raising from the hips and back. Good. Focusing on that belly, focusing on the back. Two more. Last one. Very nice. Elongating that stance a bit. Once again, back is flat, belly is drawing to the spine. Turn, look past the hands, and look past the hands. Now with a swoop. Two more. Last one. Okay, narrowing that stance. to just wider than shoulder width. This next movement is the same as the first. It's a great big hip circle. And now out of that hip circle, as we draw back, the body swoops. Make sure the circle is the most focused on element of this. The swoop will come once the circle feels well delineated and clear. As I draw back, this leg is straightening, but it's not straight. There's still a little bit of a buffer in the joint as I roll through. Changing directions. Again, first couple, keep the circle at the forefront of your thought. Once circle feels automatic, then focusing more on that constant release and engagement as the body raises and sinks. If your circle gets sloppy, go back and focus on that first. Very nice, Fritz. Two more. Last one. Good. Shake out those legs for a second. Before we go into the legs and knee aspect of all this, bring the feet together. Hands gently cupping the patella, the kneecaps. Nice big circles. Other direction, nice big circles. Good. From here, forward, open, and back. And then from there, back, open, and forward. Good. Shake it out. Okay. Stepping to the side, I'm going to raise my foot, stretching out the piriformis. Two more. Very nice. Now, in a bit of a crouch stance, grabbing the ground with my foot and watch my body as I lift. I'm not arcing way back to the side, kind of maintaining as level as I can as I draw back and step the foot. Grab, dynamic tension, and back and forth. Ten more. The head level. Two more. Good. Shaking it out for a moment. Coming into a wider stance, turn sideways. Feel that stretch in that front hip. Draw the belly to the spine, concave the chest. As the arms pull, I'm going to pull the heel out of the mud and back. Try it nice and slow for that jackknifing in the quaff. Good. 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reset. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake that out. Wide stance, turn sideways. Feel that pull in the hip, the drawing of the belly, the concaving of the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reset, find that stretch. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake that out. Nicely done, everybody. Okay. We're now going to do 2 low stance drills. These can get a little bit knee intensive. So if your knees start to feel fatigued, don't go as low. If your knees feel sore, don't go low at all. If you need a break, please take a break. Okay? First one, I'm going to take my leg around and back. From here, Belly drawn to spine. I'm going to sink as far as I can, while maintaining proper posture. If I can drop all the way down, great, but I don't need to get a good workout. From there, I'm going to kick around, front leg to behind. Let's try this together. So that right leg behind, we sink. Raising up as that right heel presses down, outside crescent and step back. Raising up from the head, neck, outside crescent, step back. Raise, lift, kick, 4. Make sure you're crossing your center line with that kick. So I raise up, I'm crossing around and back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, Zai bien, last one, 10. Shake that out for a moment. The framework for the next, so you all can see, the step in front, step back, figure 4, turn, pull my foot. Side view so you can see. 1, 2, figure 4, pivot, draw. Just gonna try to do 4 of them nice and slow in high stance. 1, 2, lift the front leg, turn, draw up and over and down. 1, 2, figure 4, turn and draw. Good, 2 more nice and high. 1, 2, figure 4, turn, draw. Last one, 1, 2, figure 4, turn, draw. Now with a level shift. Step, step. As I sink, same as before, keep that posture engaged, straight back, belly to spine. As I turn, I draw that foot out and step. And again, 1, 2, sinking while pressing into the ground to support your knees. Drawing up, pull that foot out and step. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, last one, 10. Shake that out. Nicely done, everybody. Hip circles are next. Starting with that right leg, external rotation. Big arcs. Hi, Genevieve. Once the shape feels good, then grab the ground with the foot. And again, this is going to limit the amplitude of the movement, allow you to feel that movement travel further up your body. Once that feels nice, belly draw. That's going to help the movement to innervate the middle and make it accessible to the upper. Lastly, that head and neck lift, so that pole doesn't get stuck anywhere along the way. Couple more going this way. Changing direction. Again, first couple just for shape. From there, foot grab, so you can feel that pole traveling upwards. Belly draw, so that pole can make it into the torso.
Could I see you do a few of these from the side?
Totally.
Thank you.
Just relaxed. I added foot grab, belly draw, and head neck lift.
That's very useful. I've been wondering sort of how much the butt goes back on some of this, and it's looking like it's staying in the same plane pretty much the entire time.
It stays in the same plane after the belly grab comes online. Prior to the belly grab, you get a lot more of this. There's nothing stabilized in the middle, right? Once you stabilize in the middle, it becomes a much finer movement. Good question, Derek.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Now from here, as we enter into our figure eights, I want to complete that first arc all the way around and back, and then as my feet hit that very brief 50-50 weighted point, and my other hip is forward, that's my cue to transfer to the other leg. Complete circle, complete circle. Make sure each lobe has a full arc as it goes into the next. And again, play with the shape first. And the body can move in all kinds of ways to make that shape possible in the beginning. When we add in that foot grab, it begins to self-limit. We add in the belly draw, it limits it even more. That head and neck lift gives all that force a place to go. And now instead of all those, that movement having multiple vectors all over, we're using these various, containment, principles, right? The grab, the draw, and the lift, to make it accessible to the arms and not to lose power, just random movements of the hips. About 10 more seconds. Play with that pull. You may begin to feel the adductors, the muscles on the inside of the leg firing up and playing an active role. If you do, that's awesome. They have a huge part to play in internal martial arts. If you don't feel them yet, totally fine. That is a subsequent idea we're gonna get to after the grab, belly draw, and head and neck feel really good. Relaxing to the middle. First leg again, this time internal rotation. It's okay to take some time to kind of move your stance around to feel what is most comfortable. Once you get to a nice, good spot, hang out there, make the shape feel clear. Once we have that, then the foot grab. Take a few seconds there, see how it changes the feel in the legs. Pay attention not just to the shape at this point, but the body feel. Again, drawing circles on our body isn't by itself a magical thing, right? The cool stuff comes when we can use those circles to take a move from one part of our body and make it accessible somewhere else. And so that body feel, as that force transfers around and kind of plays off different structures, is a really important study. From there, the belly draw and the neck lift, as you're ready. About 10 more seconds to this side. And changing legs, big circles. Find the shape first. Listen to how that shape feels as it moves through your body. From there, foot grab. And then if that foot grab is stable, you may begin to feel those adductor, those inner thigh muscles light up. From there, belly draw, take that hip, that low leg feel, into the upper leg, from there to the middle. Once we're in the middle, then it's accessible to the whole body with the raise of the head and neck. And as I told my Tai Chi class a little while ago today, I spoke to Zhang Shuiyan about this warm-up 2 days ago, and his response was 3 enthusiastic thumbs up and a good with an exclamation point. So I figure we're approaching the right track. From here, the circles link, creating that figure 8. Once again, it's shape first, circles first, foot grab, and adductor inner leg muscles afterwards. You can get those adductors online, then play with that belly draw and see how the belly draw guides that adductor body feel deeper into the core, deeper into the torso. From there, it becomes really important to raise the head and neck so all of that coil and lift doesn't get stuck anywhere around here. It's a big idea, it's a big thing in martial arts, internal martial arts, not to put any pressure on the heart. And so if you're Fa Li, we can make all this power, we don't want it to get stuck around the chest. All of my teachers agree that, much like wearing hats in cold weather when you train, that'll probably kill you. And so it's just a thing we try to avoid. Coming back to the middle and relax. Very nice. Shake that out for a second. We're going to play with lifting and drawing for just a couple moments here. From there, we're going to go into stance and single leg, get the legs well and truly toasty, then our T-tway, and then our kicks after that, okay? And so for the lifting and drawing, we return to our nice open stance, so external rotation, and our figure eights. With the hands and the hips, try to feel that natural lifting and falling of the hip. Raising as it draws back, sinking as it draws forward. Raising back, sinking forward. So a very minor shift. Hi, Margot. Very slight shift as you roll through. From there, as we lift the hip, the arm raises. Hip and arm together for right now. So we're not doing the separation. We want to feel the amount of work it takes to lift everything at once. So you can get a baseline. So it's the whole left side rolls, whole right side rolls. Left together, right together. And as you play with this, you may notice there's a whole lot of shoulder involvement when the hip and the arm move at the same time, right? And that's exactly why we try to avoid doing this when we get into more sophisticated motions. And so from this baseline of both structures moving together, the hip and the shoulder, now I'm going to take a break from that hands back on the hips, let the hips roll, I'm going to feel that natural rise and fall. And now that my upper body follow my lower instead of going with it. So as my right hip rolls up, the hip begins to roll first, the arm follows. Left hip first, arm follows. Play with this for a few moments. As you relax into the shape, add in your foot grab, belly draw, and head neck lift we were talking a moment ago. And you can begin to feel that even though there's much more sensation in the middle of the body, around that lower abdominal, lower dantian area, there's much less sensation in the shoulders. And so we're bypassing those big muscles from the upper body to create a pulse from the lower body that accelerates through as it travels through the upper body. And that's one of the many goals of this exercise. It's not just fancy coordination, right, rolling side to side. It's how do we carry a feeling from our feet and make it a functional movement we can use with our hands. And that's as complicated as it sounds. So simple breakdowns like this are really important. And my daughter is mooing. Good, playing with that lift, keep going for a moment. Okay, so very nice Sarah, very nice Eric and Derek and April. Space in the armpits. There's a roundness to my chest, a roundness to my body as I draw up and through. Pulling up and over, reaching. As I reach, it's right between my legs, I draw down. Pulling up and over, the hip as the other hand sinks. Pull, sink. Pull, reach. As I get more comfortable, and I can let the arms relax a little bit, I still don't compress the arms to allow the armpits to close off. There's a little bit of space between my upper arm and my side body. I move sideways again. And continue. Good, Karen, good. Use that foot grab, that belly draw to stabilize your hips a little bit so there's a little less side to side. And then play with that roll back, roll back, roll the hip arms. There you go. Good. More of that forward back, less side to side. Very nice. And that's going to do wonders, get you deeper into your belly and better feel I've been talking in terms of the umbilicus drawing up into the middle. It's very nice. Very good, Robert. The lift is looking good, Robert. Play more of that sink, reaching down to pull, reaching down to pull. There, very good, Robert, very good. And much like Karen, work more now on that forward to back part of the movement and less on the side to side. So more of that reaching through, rolling back, reaching through, rolling back, as opposed to rolling side, rolling side. Good. Eric and April are looking good. Craig is looking good. Very nice. Han. A little more space in the armpits, Galen, and a little more roll up and over, Galen. Kira, the roll up and over is looking wonderful. Good, Margot. Very nice. For the draw, a little bit lower, You want to keep it right at the line of those lower ribs on the side. If you go too high, it's impossible to avoid getting it in your shoulder. So just low enough that you don't have to rely on the deltoid for those big lifts. Very nice, rolling up and over the pelvis. Hi, Elizabeth.
So we start down in the hips, and then as we start focusing up into the belly, the movement starts getting originated closer to the belly.
Movement is still, the rolling of the belly absolutely originates movement, yeah. And the pulling of the feet is that pulse that draws up, rounds the belly, and then becomes accessible in the upper.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I do this, the feeling that I'm paying most attention to is how is my body rolling, so I can be pulling up and over a tangent constantly. I'm always playing with that tangent of that imaginary sphere in that lower dantian. But that's certainly not where I started with this, right? In the beginning, it was enough to play with that coordination and making the movement have the appropriate timing. From there, the postural elements, the foot grab, belly draw, and head neck lift, helped me to feel where my dantian was so I could begin to roll around it. Good, Derek. Derek, a little more over the hip. You see, I'm not traveling over the hip physically, but I'm traveling up and over with the arc of that raised hand. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, everyone, shake this out for a moment. Any questions before we move on to stance and single? Sweet. Let's give it a go. Get my timer set. Okay. Oh, cut off my own head. There we go. All right, so with that right foot planted firmly on the ground, the left foot raises with the big toe right in the middle of that back foot. From here, I drill up with my right hand, down with my left, and I use that drilling to create a cross-body stretch that's opening up these paraspinal muscles and giving space in my vertebra as I reach up and down. The palm of the down hand is away from my body, as is the palm of the raised hand. So again, it's a coiling, twisting chuan motion as I reach up and down. Good, life through the fingertips, active raising to the head neck, belly drawing to the spine. From here, step left, step through right. As my body sinks, my arms change positions, left hand arcing down, right hand arcing up. If I'm fairly flexible, I can get my left hand underneath my right foot, lifting it with that hand, pressing away from my back with my right hand. If I'm not quite bending enough to get there, I can take my two hands layered over each other like this, fingertip to fingertip, and let the weight of my shoulders hang as I gently breathe and relax into the stretch. Either way is okay. So again, I make it to that full yin yang shape, active lifting, active pressing. If you want even more of a stretch, you can raise the head neck. All right, as the body raises, that right foot comes forward, grabbing the ground with that right foot, pulling that left leg up. The left foot is parallel with the ground, actively raising that left knee. The arms unfold and open. Slight concavity in the chest by knitting those clavicles together. As I raise that knee, I want that pelvis to be in a line, so make sure I'm engaging with the umbilicus. That way, as I play with that knee level, I'm using that psoas muscle to create that deeper body feel. And hold. Good. Every few breaths, see if you can raise your knee a little higher. Excellent. Life to the fingertips, Derek and Elizabeth. Good. Very nice, Genevieve. Good job. Excellent. Rounding and softening the chest, creating that concavity as you hold. Good. From here, that raised foot comes over the knee, though not touching, still actively raising the knee as the arms fold. And as they fold, there's a twist to the same round back as I had in the previous holding pose. Palms facing each other, like they're holding a pane of glass. Low right hand reaching towards that left foot. And same as before, every few breaths, raise that knee and see if you can't engage a little bit deeper as you hold. Good, continue. A little more lift in the fingers, Elizabeth. Very nice. And make sure the hands are holding a plane because you don't want your glass to fall. Excellent. Every couple of breaths, draw the belly in a little deeper and raise that knee. Good, good. Also very important to note, this sequence is tough. If you need to shake it out at any point, please do. It took me a while to make it the full 8 minutes. A good long while. From here, the raised leg pulls the toes back again. We set the leg atop of the grounded leg, making that figure 4. As I sink, I hold post. You can see, same rounding of the back, same drawing of the umbilicus to the spine, and I don't have to sink down deep to get some effect out of this. As long as I feel a slight opening and stretch in the hip and engagement of the quad, that's plenty deep. If I want to make it spicy, I can absolutely go down lower, but that's not necessary to get benefit from the posture. Everyone hold for a second more. Good, good. And again, as we get into these later minutes, shaking it out if you need to is absolutely important. From behind the leg, or from front of the leg rather, we now go behind the leg with the ankle right in that crook, right in that fossa of the back of the knee. As I sink down, same back shape, but now I'm pressing out with the palms of the hands away from my body. And just as before, I can have that leg virtually straight. So long as I feel the quads engaged, I'm getting something out of that. As I get more comfortable in stance, I can gradually sink lower and lower, challenging both my balance and my muscles. But that's not where I'm going to start off, right? That's a lofty goal after I've been doing this for quite a while. Keep holding. Good, palms away. Good, Margot. Fingertips reaching together, very nice. Space between the fingers. Good, drawing that belly to the back, rounding the torso. Very nice, everyone. A couple more seconds here. Nextly, drawing the hands and foot up. Now, as I lean back, my first goal is just to get my shoulders behind my hips. From here, drawing the umbilicus to my spine, I'm going to reach out and press. Using the weight of my extended arms to open my back further, pushing out with the heel of my foot and the heel of my palms evenly. It's okay to bend the stable leg for this one. As you reach, and again, for this first few times through, if as far as you can get is here, that's an awesome place to start. Gradually unfolding the body as you get more comfortable, ultimately going to full extension, and then using that weight to open your back. For all of this, there's no hurry to get the ideal shape today. Just, small little incremental improvements day after day of practice. Very nice, Margot. Yep, shoulders right behind those hips. Feel that weight drawing your body open. Good. Drawing back in. Now the same basic idea, only now angling forward. I'll be stable over my hip as I lean forward and reach. In our Star Wars trash compactor. Fingertips reaching up, toes reaching down, even pressure through my hands and foot as I push away. The down leg is straight, the back is flat like a table. And hold. Awesome. And relax. Shake that out for a second. Any questions before we do the B side?
Can I ask one?
Please.
Yeah, I was just wondering at the beginning when we're going down and we only have the left, in this case, the left heel on the floor. Is
Right.
the weight distribution the 80% on the back one, like other times, or?
Or this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is about 80-20. Yeah, we want enough weight on the front foot to feel that pressure on the ankle, on that calcaneus, because right here, where a lot of the muscles up in the upper leg kind of draw through and attach into the bone. And so that pressure there, even though it's pretty uncomfortable in the beginning, is a really nice massage to help open up the back of that leg. And so the first few weeks can be quite uncomfortable. After a while, it becomes kind of a pleasant feeling as you can get more space in the leg through it. And so in the beginning, it's terrible at first. It is objectively a terrible feeling at first. But in the end, I mean, there are these stretch receptors called Golgi tendon organs that hang out right at that most terminal part of the insertions. And it just helps get more space there, just opens up the leg in a much faster way than a relaxed stretch with no pressure on the ankle.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Of course.
I suspect there's actually just benefit to increasing our tolerance for suffering.
Also true. I mean, the motto of our studio, after all, is agony and tedium.
That's good marketing.
Right?
Scare away all the wimps. No, just kidding. I'm a wimp, so.
I mean, Kung Fu is just hard work over time. I figured agony and tedium was more accurate, descriptor. Yes, Fritz. What? I gotta do this first. I'll be in 5 minutes, okay? So from here, bringing the weight to the other foot. You can go with it if you want. The right toe comes the middle of that left foot. As we drill that left arm up and that right arm down, again, we're keeping space in that armpit. The palms of both hands are away from the body. And we're using that stretch as the umbilicus draws to the back to open up and elongate and create space for the spine. Fingertips reaching, hips even. So I'm not listing as I reach. I'll make sure that even, stable base in that belly draw, and then opening up around that. From here, right foot steps, left foot steps on the heel, both legs straight, as I switch arms if I'm bendy enough, getting my right hand under my left foot, so that gentle raising up can open the leg even more. Left hand pushing away from the middle of the back around the L4 level. If that's too much, the fingertips can come in line, and I can just hang over that leg. Hey, Fritz. Hold for a second longer. Craig, if you could rotate the palms, the fingertips are pointing across your body and push away from the back. Good, very good. From here, the weight comes forward, over the left leg. As I raise, drawing the belly to the middle, raising that right leg up, foot parallel with the ground, chest concaved, arms opening, fingertips reaching to the side. Every few breaths, actively raising that right knee. See that round belly draw, clavicles knit together as I hold. Good, again, every couple breaths, find a little more space in the hip. Pressing down actively for your bracing foot, raising actively for your lifting foot. And as always, it is totally okay to shake it out when you need to. From here, that raised right foot points down with the toes. As the foot draws over, but not touching the back knee, the arms wrap and coil like I'm wrapping around a post. Reaching down for that right foot with the left arm, reaching up, holding a pane of glass between the two hands, actively raising the high leg, keeping space in the armpit as I hold. Keep holding for a second. Good, reaching for that foot with the downed hand. Very nice, Craig, very nice. Margot, a little more space in the arm of the down arm. So instead of here, yeah, there you go, good, find that round. Take it back in the frame so you can see how both my arms maintain a slight round as I hold. Good. From here, the right foot comes up and over the left knee, creating that figure 4. Drawing the belly to the spine, I'm going to sink down just enough so I can feel my quad, those big muscles on the top of my leg begin to engage and support me. So long as the quad is active, I'm doing some good work. If I want to make it a bit more intense, I can always sink down deeper, opening the hip more. But the first most important thing is to keep your knees safe. So never sink down further than you can support. On that topic of knee safety, grabbing the ground with the down foot and actively pressing into the ground does wonders for helping the knee to maintain proper alignment and makes the whole joint a lot more stable. Keep holding. Good, life in those fingertips, even round through the arms. Little space between the fingers. Excellent, softness in the chest, like someone put their hand, like your hand right here and pressed very gently, and then just carrying that round around and through. From here, bringing the foot behind, right in the crook of the knee. As I sink, draw the belly to the spine. If the belly is not drawn to the spine, the hips can shoot back like this, and then I'm never really going to feel the quads engage because all the pressure is going into the knee. If the belly is drawn in as I sink, the pressure goes right into the quad and keeps the knee far safer. So again, if you're sinking and don't feel anything, raise up, make sure the belly is engaged, then sink again and see if you can find a bit more life in that, to the top of that supporting leg. Keep holding. Very nice, everyone, very nice. Drawing in with the hands and foot. Just as in last set, first goal is to bring those shoulders just a little bit behind the hips. From there, play with extension of the arms and leg. See how that weight distribution challenges your balance. If this is new for you, every couple of breaths, reach just a little bit more, and a little bit more, until finally you're fully opened. And then once you get that full extension, using the weight of the arms and the weight of the back of the hands to open the spine, actively raising the other leg. Good, Elizabeth, pushing out with the heel of the hand a little bit. There you go. Pushing out with the heel of the foot and the heel of the palm. What the heel of the hand is going to do is create more of a stretch through your arms, allowing you to more effortlessly open up your spine as you stretch through. Good. Drawing in. Lastly, keeping those hips square as I push forward with the hands, back with the foot, toes pointing to the floor, hands pointing to the ceiling. Stretch and hold open that trash compactor. Bottom leg is straight for this. Try to make sure your hips aren't lifting up. You want the pelvis nice and square with the ground as you push away. And hold. Good. Nice and narrow shoulders in line with the hips. Feel that press, engage those paraspinal muscles. Excellent. Fingertips up, Margot. Good, good. 5 more seconds. And relax. Okay, shake that out for a second. Get a quick drink of water if you need it. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll start again in about a minute.
I have questions about breathing. Is it in general anything drawing in as an inhale, anything going out as exhale, and then when you're holding the position, you just deep breathe?
Correct, correct. And the reason being is that inhalation is a stressing process, right? You're using musculature to engage that inhalation. Exhalation is a relaxing process. And so when we put pressure on something else, we want to do is we take all that force from the inside and relax and let it extend outward. If I inhale as I press, I'm bringing tension to my body. I'll never be as clear a conduit for that power as if I'm relaxing and exhaling as I'm pushing through. And so by the same token, all fa li, all internal power, strikes, throws, all are accompanied by an exhale or at the very least a neutral breath. You would never have an inhale as you're striking out, you're putting tension in the chest and tension in the hand, and there's no clear conduit for the force to come from the ground and accelerate outwards.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. Any other questions? Awesome, nicely done, everybody. Let's do some T-tway. The hands reaching to the side. Start off nice and slow. We're gonna step, raise, 1, 2, 3, raise, 1, 2, 3, raise. As I raise one leg, I'm pushing the heel of the other leg into the ground. Exhale as we raise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that 1, 2, 3 is to mirror the walking pattern that I would do in a straight line if I had enough room to walk in a straight line. It also gives your hips a chance to relax between kicks. Pressing the heels of the hands away, like the walls are trying to close in on you. Last one. Good. Shake out the arms for a brief second. We're going to do 3 more sets of this. Pressing to the side, inside crescent. So the foot's going to come from the outside, crossing the middle. Make sure you cross your center line before you return to your stepping. Out to in. Cross that center line. Don't worry about height in the beginning. Just play with that coordination and balance as you pull the foot across and reset. If you're kicking super low, that's fine. If you do this repetitiously, you'll gain height pretty quick. One more. Shake out the arms for a second. In a lot of ways, they fatigue the most in this. Next, reaching out, inside to outside crescent. Cross and reach. Cross and reach. If you want to be all Beijing opera and spicy, you can hit the hand as you go, but you don't have to. Cross the center line twice. 1, 2. 1, 2. Make sure that you get that full arc, crossing that middle, lifting around. One more. Good. Shake that out for a second. Lastly, straight leg raises to the opposite shoulder. As I press, reach. Pushing the heel down as I kick. Opening up the back of the leg. Good, Fritz. Five more seconds. last kick. Shake that out. Any questions? Is that feeling pretty okay? Pretty good?
I have a question. On the kick towards the inside, it's an internal rotation, and once it gets towards the inside, I feel like I'm flattening out, like my body's getting in the way of the kick.
Right.
How should I change the shape?
So in the beginning for that kick, relax the body and see how the foot moves your core. So about that kick, this is actually the first kick that I teach in capoeira because it is such a good kick for building balance and stability through the knee, that internally, rotating kick. And so as you play with that for starters, April, just work on how the hips roll and the body wants to move to counterbalance. It would be kind of dramatic in the beginning, right? From there, yeah, there you go, good. And nice and low, like not higher than your own hips. If you have a folding chair, going right over a folding chair is a great way to practice this one. Then from there, as you get more comfortable, you'll find space and roll in the hips. And you'll find that stability, and you'll find the counterbalance more in your leg and your pelvis. There you go, see? The shoulders will start to calm down. Then you can start getting power and height out of the kick. Does that make sense?
I think so. It sounds like I should stay lower and feel what that feels like before trying to kick higher.
I'd recommend that. Yeah, there's always time to kick higher. And as we play with these movements, the key to kicking high is just kicking a lot and not injuring yourself in the process, right? And so starting out low, building that feel for it. I find a really nice low target is a great way to work on kicking. That way you're not just kind of kicking off in the ether. It helps to focus your movement and,
Like not
It's a
always.
showing off.
Oh, she's quite well. Can you show
I kick way higher than I can.
the cartwheel? Very nice. So, doing one hand handstands in a year. It's crazy. So yeah, that's great. And then you can also work on using the arms to counterbalance. You see, I'm twisting opposite. There you go. Yeah. Very nice, April. Very nice. And if you remind me on the next morning workout class that you're in, I'll dedicate a good chunk of time to this and can really break it down solid. Sound good?
Okay, thank you.
Of course, of course. So next up from here, good, got it. We're going to work on a very simple Bagua kick. The idea is I'm sweeping the front leg, kicking the knee of the back leg. Infants, can I borrow you? Can you stand 1 foot forward, 1 foot back? Awesome. And so the first foot's coming in here, sweeping their leg out of the way. The second's reaching through, collapsing the back leg, right? So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Does that make sense in theory?
So that's what you mean by a low target.
What's that?
So that's what you mean by a low target?
They're the most dangerous when you're 6'3". You just can't see them coming.
Oh my God, so funny.
So it's trying this together nice and slow. Start with the right leg, hooking and reaching, pivoting that back foot, pushing, changing legs, hooking, pivoting, pushing. Hey, Fritz, come out here a little bit. Thank you so much. Hook, pivot, push. Keep playing that for a second. Now, the reason that pivot is so important is if we don't, all that pressure goes right into the knee, and the knee hates being twisted, right? So if I have a target, I can hook from here. To get that back angle, I'm going to pivot with that hook, reaching into that back leg. Okay? So again, switching legs off. 1, turn, kick, and back. 2, turn, kick, and back. 3, turn, kick, and back. 4, turn, kick, and back. Sweep to kick, sweep to kick. Good, good. Making sure that sweep uses the foot like a crook. You see that? Use that hook of the ankle to draw and to stabilize from the ground. And then from there, pop, straight in and through, beginning with that rotation of the downed leg. Let's do 4 more. Yes?
It's hard not to start pivoting at the first sweep, no? Or am I doing that wrong? Like I want to pivot when I'm doing the first one almost, like here.
Which you can totally do, absolutely, absolutely, Margot. And so When done quickly, the pivot comes right at the tail end of the first one, continuing into the start of the second one.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And so there's force, right? I'm not going to go one pivot kick, that's too slow. I'm going to pull into my pivot and then reach through.
Right.
Yeah. I just find that for most students initially, it's nice to have that delineation of 1, 2, 3 as opposed to 1.5, 2.5 to 3. Otherwise, the knee gets lost in between. So again, pivoting to press, pivoting to press. And for the kick, we're pulling the toe back, hitting with that blade or heel straight into the side of the knee. Bagua likes kicks like this because they don't compromise your balance, right? I can just be walking along, a person can push me, pop, and I can just keep on walking. It's very low commitment. I'm not off the side. It's a super easy way of maintaining your mobility, while at the same time turning your legs into a very valuable weapon. The arms also play a role in this from the form I'm drawing this out of. What's happening here is their hands are on me. I'm raising their arms up as I hook in, pressing out to the chest or neck as I kick out. So you just bring the hands and the legs together. 1, pivot, press, and set. Other side. 1, pivot, press, and set. Side to side. Scoop, extend. Scoop, extend. Keep playing with that. 1, 2, 1, 2. And this makes a really kind of nifty small step line drill. I can come in, press, open, in, press, open, press, open. Good, so the hitting is right out with the blades of the hands, done quickly so you can see, there's feet there. It becomes a quite rapid, very sharp movement, but the coordination needs to be practiced slowly and fluidly first, so you don't put any undue tension on your body as you work into speed. Good, a couple more of these. Very nice. Scoop, extend. Scoop, pop. Scoop, pop. Good. Any questions on this one? Mechanically, it's fairly simple. Coordination-wise, it takes a bunch of work. So next, we're going to look at one more kick. We're just going to do a quick overview of it, and we'll practice it more. Next class, I just wanted to show it to you first. The idea here is that my back leg clears. They could be reaching towards me, so it's pushing them out of the way as they move in, reaching right up and through to the groin. Super classic kick, you see it in Sanda, you see it in Bagua. In Chinese martial arts, there is no rule against kicking to the groin. In actual fighting, there's also no rule against kicking to the groin, and it's important to know that it is a valuable and wonderful target if you need it, okay? So again, as that back leg comes around, there's an inside crescent, and then a pivot to lift. Once you get more comfortable, there can also be an inside crescent, close the distance step to chase them down. Both are good when you do this straight pivot for right now. So again, the leg arcs around, turn, lift. Other foot arcs around, turn, lift. Inside crescent, turn, lift, heel to groin or chin. Inside crescent, turn, lift. 1, 2, 1, 2. As the arms come in, it's a clear reach. Clear, arms open as the leg extends, reach. Clear, reach. 2 more together. Clear, reach. 1 more. Clear, reach. Keep going at your own pace for a few seconds. Good, good. And that heel is just driving up that center line. Whatever good target you get first is the target you have, and there are many a good target up the center line. Good, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, as you kick in, gather. See, everything's kind of coiled in. As I turn, extend. Gather in, extend, kick. There, good. You want the body stretching evenly forward and back. That we can get as much oomph as possible out of that short range kick. Very nice, very nice. Good, Margot. It's coming along nicely. Excellent, Sara. Beautiful, Robert, beautiful. As that foot goes up, Robert, let the hand blade side rise with it. So it's the 1, 2. Very nice. And see how that helps to counterbalance the shoulders with the hips and get more power out of the kick. Very good, very good. Good, Craig. So Craig, as you kick back, a little bit of a turn so you can track your target. Very nice. And last one for everyone. Good. Okay, shake that out for a moment. How's everyone feeling with their first couple kicks? Very nicely done. Kicks are really intimidating when you start learning them. But if you base it off of hip circles and T-tway, that's a really simple way of getting range of motion and familiarity with the hip joints you're gonna be using. From there, it's just a matter of flexibility and practice, and that comes relatively quickly. And so you all have a very good foundation to get into this, and we're just gonna slowly add them bit by bit until kicks become a good friend. All right?